The least favorite. I mean, in general, I wouldn't say now that I don't like certain food or certain places and so on, but there is one common ground where there are some base problems. Starting with, for example, okay, the power cuts, the electricity issues, which we were facing and still facing today also. Traffic regulation, you know, with people driving like they're owning the street, you know, people stopping everywhere where they want, blocking streets, and so on. So this is actually a list I could go on and on and on. But I think what we also have to understand is Myanmar is still a country which is developing. So it takes time. And if I see the neighboring countries where they are right now and how far they have come, Myanmar is still long way back. So they still have to go a long way. And I think what is needed is a lot of education in terms of maybe starting certain campaigns, you know, through social media or TV or radio, to educate people about, for example, traffic rules, yeah, or even what is a good initiative is also that spitting around with beetle with the beetle nut that also has stopped in certain areas, like in downtown. But I think there has to be a little bit more aggressive campaigns and more law enforcement. What I miss here is really a little bit more proper law enforcement. Not only for getting things right, but also protecting the public. Every time when I'm going on a street and I'm seeing these bus drivers driving from that lane to their own lane and just cutting everybody and speeding and all this is dangerous, because you can see a lot of also like these kids crossing the streets and, you know, running without looking, and at one point this can also be very dangerous. So I feel there should be definitely more stricter law enforcement, punishment. Even if taxi drivers are making a mistake, they should pay a fee, a penalty for blocking and stopping and, you know, cutting people and all this. And as long as I think there is no proper law enforcement, nothing will change. Yeah.
If I try to think of a bad one, Myanmar is the only country where somebody has spat betel nut at me. I was sat in a taxi with a window open and someone spat betel nut out of the bus, and it came into the taxi and landed on my leg, fortunately on my leg. Yeah, okay, that's a thing that I don't particularly like about Myanmar, is this betel nut habit, but that's the way it is here, so I just get on with it. But I see a lot of signs now in Myanmar saying no betel nut. So I think people are, I mean, you know, if you've got a habit, if you smoke, fine. If you chew betel nut, fine. But does it have to be spat everywhere on the stairs? And that's really not very nice. But that's really the only bad thing I can think of here.
And the situation, it's now with the confinement, the people are afraid of the foreigner, and really afraid.
Yeah.
And it's different because the information or the newspaper tell it's a foreigner. They have the corona. They have
yeah.
After many people afraid of the foreigner and take mask or and
yeah.
For friendly, now it's very difficult for them.
Of course. Yeah.
The problem is more with the transport or for sleep when we are a foreigner, because we are feel many problems because we are foreigner. We try when it's possible for the foreigner travel, and we try with bicycle for to go in the sud in that way. But we start, and because it's not possible in bus, it's not possible in train for the foreigner, many difficult. And for sleep in the guest house. Many guest house we meet no guest house because in the moment Burmese only, Myanmar only, and for the foreigner no it's possible. And we have tent for this. We sleep per moment in the tent. But,
we try.
Yeah.
It's impossible. If you want to do some camping here, it's impossible. Really, yeah. For us, it's like adventure. Like, oh, we want to sleep in the tent, in the mountain, or just around, I don't know, in a beautiful place. But it's not possible.
Usually it's possible in the all country. You are your tent, you're sleeping in the mountains.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
Yeah.
But here we find many problems with immigration.
With immigration, yeah. We were caught by immigration like 5 times. Yeah, and they took our passports, our names. Yeah, it was
many times. Picture and video.
Like, yeah. Get away from here. You can't sleep here. You cannot. Yeah. Go. We were like, no, but no guest house, no hostels. They don't accept us. And they say, no, just go.
And same for the sanctuary. After one moment with the immigration, we take, we go, okay, it's not possible to sleep in the tent here. For what is the problem? No, it's just not possible. But please, just we are tired. Just want sleep. We go in the temprano.
We were very soon. Early.
Soon in the morning.
Yeah.
And then no, it's possible. So the immigration come and we go with the immigration. The immigration tell us, yes, it's possible. We sleep in the sanctuary. Okay, yeah, it's great sanctuary, perfect. We start to sleep in the sanctuary. But after
they came back and just with another police officer, and then and they say no, it's not allowed. Go, and we were like, wow, but the immigration office say that we can sleep here, and they say no, you cannot, just go. And then they took us to they didn't say anything, they just said come with us, and we went in the car, and then they dropped us in the train station at 3 a.m. and we were like, we didn't know what to do, just in the train station, and that was in Tango.
Station train, and
we slept there.
The immigration go, tell nothing, and just go in the car, and we are with the bag, and okay.
They just went
and in
away.
The 4 in the morning,
Yeah. We felt really bad. Really, like we were rejected. Many times.
The moment, and overstay. When you are in overstay, it's not possible to sleep in the guest house.
When your visa.
All the hotel guest house refuse you. It's not possible. How many?
And for me it was not possible for me to sleep in the guest house because my visa runs out just with 1 day. And I said like, okay, but if I'm with overstay, I can pay for overstay. And they say no, you can stay here, you cannot. So.
And this moment, when your visa is finished, and she need to go in Yangon for extend visa, but the problem is we are in the evening, and all guest house tell not possible. The immigration office for tourists it's closed. The police don't respond for us.
The police,
And we try reserve a guest house with booking, because when it's in the confinement, in the coronavirus time, the other guest house it's not in booking. It's sure it's not for the foreigner. It's not possible. It's no because you are foreigner. It's sure because we book 2-3 hotels.
And they say no
for sleep, for wait for the immigration office, and go to Yangon because we need the help of the immigration, because the bus it's not possible for us. The train is not possible, and we are in the Malawin.
Sí, Monlamin. That was in Monlamin.
And it's not possible to sleep in the hotel or guest house
Yeah.
And just we need one day for take the bus, but for take the bus we need the help of the immigration is closed, and we are because no bus, no train for us, and we need to go to Yangon. All people tell go to Yangon, go to Yangon, and yeah, okay, but yeah,
How?
we listen, okay, we go in Yangon, but oh.
We just wanted a place to stay one night, and it was not possible.
After with the immigration, we pass many time for Spain, and after with the immigration, it's possible to take bus. Very different the atmosphere. It's just because it's the moment with Corona, and the people very scared of the tourists. So after 3 months when the Corona start, the people tell Corona go Corona.
So things that I don't like about this country, something that I don't want to say that I don't like it, but something that's very puzzling is that people never seem to have the same phone number. You know, when you try to call someone on that you haven't spoken to for a few months, always I get "Tika Mashin." You know, it's always like this number is unavailable. Every time, 9 times out of 10, when I call a business on Google, the first number I try not available. Then I have to go on Facebook, look for a different number. I mean, I moved here in 2014, right when Urdu was just starting to launch, and I have the same phone number that I had 6 years ago. But somehow here, everybody's always changing their phone number, Facebook profile, always changing. And the other thing that I find really funny, it's not something I don't like, but you know, I interview someone to work for me, and they say, "My name is Susu." And then I look at their NRC card, and it's a totally different name, right? And then they find me on Facebook, and it's a totally different name. So people just kind of use their names very loosely, and it kind of makes me a little crazy trying to remember everybody's name. And then I would say the last thing is definitely the driving. You know, everything that I said I love about Myanmar people, kind-hearted and caring and generous, they get behind the wheel and it's like their alter ego comes out. But I think that what I notice is that people, even though they drive aggressively, they're not upset when other people cut them off. They're not upset that other people are also driving aggressively. I feel like if I was on the road here, I'd have a lot of road rage. Like, I can't believe this person just cut me off. But people are very like, well, that's okay. I'm going to do the same for somebody else. So I guess it's a very Zen approach, right? And I suppose if you were not aggressive here, you would never be able to make a right turn, because it's just it's the way the traffic works in this country. But yeah, I would say that the driving, particularly as somebody who doesn't drive and as somebody that spends most of their time as a pedestrian on foot, crossing the street is probably a risky business every day. I still think that it's not something that I dislike so much about Myanmar, but something to get used to is the fact that in certain areas of the city, water only comes at certain times, right? And sometimes it's reasonable times, other times it's like 2 to 4 in the afternoon when you're obviously not home. So I guess that's just something that we just took some time to get used to, and there were many, many days where we came home at night and thought, oh, cannot shower, no water. So it's just something that I think just takes a bit of time to learn how to work with, how to deal with.
About the things that I not like, or something that really, makes it difficult for me in living in Myanmar, is number one is the traffic. Because I grew up in a country like in the Philippines that the traffic is terrible when it comes to traffic, because there's a lot of cars. There's a lot of cars in the Philippines, and so like living in Myanmar, I actually experienced back in 2012 when there's no traffic at all. Like, it's so easy to travel from downtown to the airport. Maybe it will take only like 15 minutes to get there. But like nowadays, like even because I live in Chimindayan area, so from there to go to the airport, I think it will take at least 40 minutes because of the traffic. So that's one of the things. That's the only thing that really I'm not, like comfortable with as of now. Yeah.
It's very, I would say, a lot of things are taboo in Myanmar, especially when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to alcohol, many things which are not very easy to talk about here. Because yes, it's quite close. It has been closed for 70 years. So at the opposite of Europe, which was having a sexual revolution in the 60s, Asia didn't have that. So it stayed very traditional compared to Europe. So opening this restaurant was quite challenging because we couldn't find the chairs that we wanted for the restaurant. We couldn't find the cutleries, the glasses, all the things. We had to find some solutions, and it was very, very tricky. So yeah, it's very complicated when you want to make a business here because a lot of things are not available in Myanmar. Very complicated. So yeah, that's very challenging to make a restaurant here for many reasons. And yes, there is a lot of things you don't know when you open a company. What is complicated as well for a restaurant here is to get the alcohol license because of the neighborhood. You need to make sure with the neighbors that you don't make any problem with the music, with the people drinking alcohol or whatever. If there is some schools around or temple around, you cannot get the license. If there is some people a little bit religious living around, you cannot get the license. So it's very tricky to get the license. So to start a restaurant in the middle of COVID crisis make it more complicated because normally it's accessible. Normally we can import. But as the borders are closed since a few months already, the equipment cannot come and many things are stuck in the border, which is, I think in all the countries it's the same actually. But yes, when you open a business like us and the things are not produced and available in the country, it makes the things quite complicated because Myanmar is dependent of the importations. You are producing a part of the food, most is produced here, but for all the furnitures and all the mechanical parts, the industrial, you don't have industries in Myanmar. You make assembly in Myanmar. So, for example, you have Hyundai here. They make some assembly of cars. They import all the pieces from Korea and they make assembly here. But basically, they don't produce here. So that's the difference with other countries as well. So a lot of things are complicated to get. And yes, regarding the restoration as well, some products are quite complicated because not possible to pass with the custom. Like for example, if you want some specific product of high level, like oysters. So oysters now it's available because one of the suppliers has imported it and validated it with the custom. But to validate the product, it takes about 3 to 6 months, which is quite a long process. And yes, some exceptional product like caviar or truffle, we cannot get here. So it's a shame when you are doing a restaurant with food and seafood of very good quality. You'd like to give to your client some truffle on the top, you know.